All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Hey, things could be a little better on this side of the screen, but I can't stress how much I love doing this, man. It is probably the best escape from all the BS a guy can ask for. So, thank you for being here. I appreciate all the comments and views, and you know all that, right? So, we're gonna cover AVTX, BKKT, and TIVC. I will be very honest, I have no idea what BKKT and TIVC look like. Those were both viewer requests between yesterday and today. I almost did not cover AVTX, but today's an interesting if you watch my videos, there are a few underlying things across every video, across every ticker, and man, the doji candle is generally something you always see me emphasize, especially like we see here when it's right on or near an important line such as the 8 moving average, right? So the candle for today really is the main reason why I covered it. All right. BKKT, you know I don't talk a lot about long-term and fundamentals. There were a couple comments about the one world currency. I'll echo my thoughts, but yeah, I kind of don't believe in a one world currency, all right? I'll give you my very opinionated facts on that. And then TIVC, I have never heard of, let alone know what it looks like or anything about it, all right? So excited for these three, and I love them when they're a little more raw like this one. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, especially if you can actually share the video. It really does a lot. But let's get into AVTX, all right? And I started the video by highlighting the importance of today's candle, all right? I actually want to talk a little bit about yesterday first, all right? And I guess really I'm going to echo what I said about Monday's candle, because it's actually going to be kind of the same thing I say about this. Look, I am not a candle shape trader. There are people that don't have any moving averages, don't draw lines, don't use any, like they literally move hundreds to thousands to millions of dollars just based on what these candles look like, whether it's a single day or like a back-to-back day, right? I'm not that, right? So when I say this is a doji, this is a doji, that's a doji, that's a doji, that like to me, I'm very loose with my words, all right? Because again, I'm like, it's enough for me to say it. This right here is as textbook as it gets, but this right here, the Monday that I want to start with, this is as doji to me as this one, okay? And whenever I see a doji next to an important line, and this the 9-cent line is as important as it can get because it is our all-time low support line, right? There is nothing after this or below this, right? However you want to word it. When we get a doji on an important line, I expect a big next day, and that is actually what we got, because I literally said we're either going to bounce up once again from this line or we're going to fall horribly below it. Bounce or die was actually my wording, right? And oh man, we bounced hard. I wish there were more decimals, but you can see there's no wick on top. The high of the day was the close of the day. Like people kept buying and buying and buying and buying and buying and buying on this Tuesday candle until the market rang the bell and said, that's it. No one else can buy today. Come back tomorrow, please. Right? Like that's a fantastic candle after an important bounce or die doji, right? The problem is, and I don't want to use the word problem because that's a wrong word, right? But I always say it, you cannot get too excited on a single candle. And I said that to a couple people on Twitter and stock twits that like asked me some specifics yesterday when I didn't make a video, right? But yeah, this was a beautiful yesterday. High of the deck, that's a great candle. We didn't get over the moving average, right? That we should have. It would have been great to. It would have been better to. And end of the day, one good candle is never enough. I need confirmation. All right. That brought us into today. And today was an interesting day. All right. And for real, look, I can see it. It looks like it's dropping after hour. I do not care about that at all. All right. What I care about is regular hour close. And that's all we're going to look at. I don't care that we're going down. Okay. And I say that across every ticker. Today was an interesting day because we open right here. We go as high as above both the 8 and the 20. Oh my, the strength behind that. At the same time, we go back below the 8, and I mean almost perfect, not quite perfectly. I'll say we were still above it. We almost wick 50% of this candle, right? Like we come a little less than ideal low, right? But end of the day, we close right where we opened, and it happens to be over the line, right? But you know it, Doji never counts as confirmation. We need tomorrow to confirm, all right? And that's what I'm looking for. I've been saying the same things, right? Like I still don't think I would touch this stock till 14. I think I want to be over all of this. The one issue I'm having, and it's interesting, it didn't fall as hard, but I guess that's kind of what happens here and here, right? But I've been waiting to get over this line, right? I guess I have to zoom out this much. Let's look at it right here. I've been waiting to get over that so I can go all the way up to the blue line. The longer it took my all the way up, now it's only there. I go from potentially 14 cents all the way to over 30. I then start to go from 14 to like about 30. That's still amazing, right? 2x. I then go from 15 to like 20-ish to now it's only pennies, right? And my problem becomes, do I kind of have to wait to 17 to break? And then at that point, am I going to go like the longer it takes to break the 8 and go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, like the worse and the tighter profits get, right? The other thing is just look, eventually this distance is going to keep getting it tighter and tighter. Like if something doesn't happen, and when I say something, I mean getting over moving averages by the 27, again, you know, I don't know the math behind these lines, right? But just kind of looking at it, this one took 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks to tie into it, right? This one took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. So hey, it might take about 2 if that one went from 8 to 4. Like I said, about the 27th, if I had to guess. I think by the 27th, we either need to get above the 100 moving average, or it's going to get even tighter than this, where it's hard to escape 3. It will become hard to escape 4 if we can't escape 4, right? So hopefully that made sense. Let me know in the comments if it didn't, right? But it's weird, where I used to say wait for 14 and enter is becoming harder and harder for me to justify, when again, all I'm going to do is go from 14 to basically 17. Oh, that's not the profit I was trying to make when I was trying to break the 50 and go to the 100, right? So, and look, volume's not quite fantastic. MACD's not horrible. As I zoom in, you can see it. There's a little bit of divergence. We have green over red, 40 is a good number. It's just, man, I hate the fact that the 100 dropped so quickly and took away from that break the 50, go to the 100 movement, right? I kind of think that's everything I have here. Again, on the bad, like, let me talk about the bad. If bad things were going to happen, we're going to close, again, back in this 9-cent world, right? More than anything, we're going to close under the 8. That's not what we want. What we really want is a close of 11 tomorrow. Get me over this 20 moving average. Get me over this this November 7th candle, right? Get me there. Because, hey, look, going from 11 to 12, I mean, a penny's about 10%, right? Like, it's definitely a intraday move and have your finger on the mouse kind of thing. And gosh, I wish volume was a little better. There's obviously more green days in the volume than red days, right? But yeah, we need 90% more volume, right? Like, we're well below the line that's supposed to be near 100, right? So, this one was a little bit more of a vague analysis, I feel like, as I'm kind of going over my words, right? Like the play kind of becomes, in my opinion, dude, it's kind of break the 100, go to 200 now, right? But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's any news that you guys see. But like, yeah, dude, it took too long to make the move that it never did. I'm hoping we can at least get over some moving averages, but like that 13, 14 cent line that I was wildly excited for. I mean, really since here, right? Like, let's not pretend anything. But yeah, the break the 50, go to the 100 is not as pretty as it was. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, let's come into BKKT. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, I'd be very much appreciated. So I remember someone on the YouTube comments asking me about BKKT, and I remember saying stay away from it. And I know that was relatively recently, all right? So very, very quickly, I have to be honest about that. I don't know exactly who it was, but I actually do remember that happening, right? And just really quickly, why would I have said that when obviously this week has already made 48%? Look, we are under, and I mean, obviously this week is still happening. Like this was the week that it, but like as of last week, we were under all the moving averages on the weekly. As of really since Monday, we were under all 5 moving averages on the daily. We, on this day, take a devastating ride down into the deep black abyss of all-time lows, right? Like there was a lot of bad on this BKKT chart when someone had asked me about it, when I said, hey, stay away. Clearly, this has been a monstrous move up. And I will be honest, I don't know if there's any news. Let me know if there's anything that really justified the last couple days, right? But couple things I can easily say here. And then again, I will talk about that one world currency thing. Red to green makes a lot of sense to me, because literally there's nothing down here, and you already saw it as I zoomed out. There are no resistances anywhere back here, right? So these 3 candles down were very easy rides up to the 8 moving average. Once we broke the 8, we're still in this red moment. And man, yeah, that was a beautiful move to that right there. Okay. Again, when the spacing between the moving averages is nice and you have nothing but red, this is the kind of stuff that can happen, right? And hey, volume obviously killed it, right? We were expecting to be down here at 1 million. We are 3x that on not even the best of the last 5 days, right? So, you know, volume's been doing really well. RSI and MACD both have a nice thing going. It's funny that the divergence actually only happened there, right? Again, I don't know if you fast forward. I like green over red on both. It's really funny that the MACD didn't have it until now. You know, again, I don't know the math behind these lines, right? But yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, red, green. We have really nice spacing between the moving averages. I believe it will be difficult to get over the 200 moving average. I do, because these 2 lines are a lot tighter than these down here. Like trying to get to the 100 is very doable. I think there's a real good shot that this thing maybe tries to wick 128, 130. The problem is right after the 100, you have the 200 right there, right? And like these 2 are the last ones for a reason, and they are hard to break individually, let alone when they're that tight together, right? So volume is beautiful. MACD and RSI are kind of saying the same. Like, this is good, this is good, this is good. Maybe that's enough to get it over 136. What does the weekly look like? Where's that line? Look at that, 140, and also tight. Like that 140, 136, 140 will be a difficult break. It will, okay? Yeah, it will. I don't actually have too much more to say on that. In terms of the one world currency, now listen, you know, I am not very good at long-term thoughts, predictions, technical analysis. That's not my specialty, right? I am for sure horrible at staying current with world news, local US news. You know, that's not what I am, all right? I with very little facts to prove it or data to prove it, I for sure do not believe in a one world currency. All right, I don't. I think there is too much global and political hate to combine everyone's currency to one. Now, again, I said this on Twitter too. There are ways we have in today's society to basically make everyone's currency kind of the same, right? We have something called exchange rates, right? Like if I go to Mexico, I think it's like 20 to 1, give or take. But that's how we make the peso the same currency as the dollar. You give me 20 of these, you give me one of those, same one world currency, but it's obviously two different currencies, right? Now, Mexico and the US is not the best example to use, but hey, let's say China and the US, let's say Russia and the US, let's say African nation 1 that's in a horrible, horrible war with African nation 2. Let's talk about South American country 1 that's in a dictatorship that's completely different views than ever. Let's talk about the Middle East and Israel and Palestine, right? Like, you're going to tell me all these people are willing to put the same face, the same single chart reader logo on the same currency? Get out of here. There's just too much hate to believe we'll all hold hands and have one world currency. That's a no facts opinion that I think if you read and listen to shouldn't sound crazy, right? But yeah, I would not get into BKKT because of a one world currency belief. I would ride BKKT if it breaks off 5 moving averages and flies. Hell yeah, right? Get over the 200, and hey, it looks like I have some lines from back in the day, right? So this has made some moves, right? Like, it knows how to make pumps. It definitely doesn't know how to get over the 200 moving average, right? But oh man, if it can get over 136, 140 like we talked about on that weekly, ooh, that's a good reason we might be trying to push the threes, right? So I would play this more for the charts than that. Let me know if you have different opinions about that one world thing. Again, I am not trying to pretend to be this educated political economic mind, right? So yeah, if you've got some better thoughts, please shoot them my way. Otherwise, let's go into TI. Oh, interesting. Okay, interesting. That's not what I actually expected to see here. Sorry, I had to, okay, couple things. The first thing I really hate to see is a stock that back in the day was $400 something and is now sitting at $1. Because the natural thing to do, I used to do it myself for sure, was to believe that, dude, if it's $1 now and it used to be 400 back in the day, oh, what a steal. Like, I gotta get into this thing, right? Because it's gonna want to come back to that massive support line right there at $162. No, don't do that, okay? Don't, like, oh man, you're gonna lose a lot if you do that. That's a very just honest opinion. All right, next thing I want to do is like, let's start looking at volume really quickly. All right, we have never ever had a day like Monday the 13th at 49 million shares in a single day. All right, the next closest day was this one, which had 25 million, all right? And everything else has been well below, let's call it 7 million. Like, nothing's, you can see it. There's been no other green candles except that one pretty bad red one. But that one was only at 6, right? So this screams pump and dump, all right? This got over 1, 2, 3 moving averages on a single candle, but definitely did not confirm that it was true. All right, this thing, the one crazy thing I'll say is this thing had 49 million shares on Monday the 13th, drops all the way down to 4, literally loses more than 90% volume, but actually doesn't do horrible on Tuesday. Today, and again, day after the doji, right? You hear me say that all the time. I think today, ooh, excuse me, sorry about that. Today was very indicative of the truth. And also, let's look at this 50 moving average line. Like, this 50 moving average line has actually been a pain almost since the day of existence, especially since what right here, since November of last year, literally same time, November of last year. All right, we've been well below the red 50 moving average line with some moments of trying to get over it but can't confirm, moments of getting over it, can't confirm, moments of getting over it, can't confirm, moments of getting over it, can't confirm. It's hard for me to believe the stock will do anything other than what it's been doing, which is trading below all the moving averages, going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into all-time lows. All right. I don't see myself making any lines. Look, if anything good was going to happen, it's going to need to get over this. What's the open of this? 241. I'll put an alert for 242. I'll be honest. I don't think I would mind knowing. I'll even give it 243. Give me an extra penny. Give me 243, and there's a real shot we'll come up to 370, if not even higher, all the way to like maybe 525. Nothing will happen until we get over that 240 range, for sure. All right. I do not believe the 50 moving average broke. I actually don't believe we're going to break it on this one. I don't. MACD is looking like it's trying to get over the zero, but it's not. RSI obviously kind of did this thing. I'm not a buyer. I'm not. Let's see if it can make me believe in the 50, and that'll change my view. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know if there was a big volume real story here. Otherwise, yeah, this bad boy knows how to pump and dump like the best of them. You know what I mean? So appreciate your time as always. Thank you. Thank you.